What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Parkour, and I am a distorted theorist. As you can tell, this is a little bit of a different video again. It's not often we get to do one in my little nerd room. This is my pathetic display of nerd things. I've got more things in this room too, you know. But beyond that, Justin wasn't going to be available for this one. So I was tasked with doing this, and it's my pleasure to bring you Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase 2. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, I just want to take a moment, as we always do at the beginning of our videos. If you're a fan of our content, if you're new, if you want to keep seeing this kind of stuff, make sure to hit that share button, that like button, but most importantly, that subscribe button, because the more subs that we get, obviously, the more stuff that we'll be able to do. Yeah, we always appreciate hearing and reading the comments from new subscribers and old subscribers alike. So, nitty gritty, Hogwarts Legacy. Myself and Justin, we tout ourselves as gamers. Do we have the big Ryzen AMD 3300 PC setup with auto Steam and Epic Games and Origins library? That's a deep cut. Of hundreds and thousands of games? No, we're humble gamers. And like currently, I'm playing through God of War Ragnarok with my wife. Ashley loves to watch me play that. Justin is currently playing through Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. I believe it's Scarlet. Whatever one he doesn't play, I'm going to play the other one. I'm also currently, when I've got some free time, managing to work my way through Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, along with the new next-gen upgrade for The Witcher 3. So we're trying to do what we can. We're trying to figure out how we can bring more gaming content for you. And that's why we've been continuing on with this series revolving around Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be coming out in February of 2023. We know this. We know that the previous gen editions, the PS4 and Xbox One and Switch, have been delayed until later in the year. I believe around April and July for the Switch. Hogwarts Legacy was a game that was rumored for, oh God, years and years and years, and there was some controversy revolving around Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling. Fortunately, none of it really came to light that would delay or impact the story and, legacy of Hogwarts Legacy. We've already had a few gameplay showcases featuring a little bit of the castle grounds. We've had the common rooms, different classrooms, showing off the map, a little bit of spell gameplay. And honestly, because we are coming to you a day late with this, sorry, schedules got in the way, I have taken my, I've worked diligently, as in I've scrolled vigorously through TikTok to ensure that I didn't encounter anything from this gameplay showcase. The video I'm about to watch is 34 minutes long. I don't know if that's all going to be gameplay, if it's going to be interviews, but we're going to get into it. We're going to discuss a little bit afterwards, and I'm just going to wax melodic about why I think this is going to be a huge game for the industry and fans alike. So before I just keep, I can natter on for a bit. Justin can attest to this. So we're going to get right into Hogwarts Legacy gameplay showcase number 2. All right, see you in a sec.
Okay, teen. That makes sense. I'm not going to have a mature-rated Wizarding World game. Teeny Tiny Hogwarts.
Dobby has been presented with a song.
That must be the big collector's edition. God, the game looks gorgeous. See, I don't know if we've actually seen much relating to ghosts, or even, I know we're supposed to talk about Broom Flight in this one. Maybe we should get some like hidden stuff here. Gorgeous. So it's got like an actual weather pattern. Wood seem.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have game director
Ben's
Alan
happy,
Chu,
but he
Hello, everybody.
needs to take a
and
breath.
systems designer Mackenzie
I'd
Turner.
probably be the same way.
And
So now
finally,
looking
just
at this, it
off-screen
looks
capturing
like
gameplay for us,
they're all
Andrew
wearing the
Corum.
colors.
Today we'll be giving you
They're
a
wearing
taste of the open
colors of
world
all the
via Broom
houses.
Flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Beasts.
And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world. And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly like.
I know they've got a
about
game
Hogwarts
capture
Legacy too.
dude
Yeah,
there.
I'm a big fan of just being able
Look at
to
the-
hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity that I can get to things.
Like you're doing
I love
GTA style.
flying
Like I
close
can
to
just
the
hop in
ground.
this.
And
It's Hagrid's
and
hut. That's
I
not
kind of wanted
Hagrid,
to
yeah?
talk about it just because I feel like the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not.
So you can't just.
And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out. We're not at the 3,000 yet. We're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness! I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade?
Yeah,
the
can you
broom?
have different models of brooms? Can you
Yeah,
upgrade them?
so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop. And so that sells a variety of different brooms. And it was important to us that the player could customize
So it's
themselves
obvious.
based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and
So
those
everything that you
upgrades
can
will
buy
make it
is
so
an
that where
upgrade.
normally
Okay.
the broom you can only fly, you can only go at max
So
speed.
what is
It's
he?
kinda like
Is
a
he
turbo meter down there.
passing
You can only
these
go
verbs
at
that you can
max
get
speed
for
without the meter going down, kind of
potions
closer to the
and
ground.
for
And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop.
herbivory? I
And so
can't
those
remember
upgrades
the
will
name
allow
of-
you to increase that distance from the ground.
Mandrakes.
they're-
Herbology.
The broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate that and get better and
You're
better.
just walking around. So it's
And I
a
love
living
that
world.
mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the
Now
ground. It's
again,
not
you
just
see
a
this
travel
stuff in The
mechanic,
Witcher
point A
and
to
Red
point
Dead and
B.
all that stuff. So it's
You're not
nothing
just
new, but
flying
it is
high
refreshing
over
to
everything.
see.
Although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it
is
feels
nice.
like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh
over
my
the
god! Like
thing.
I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop. I'm going to that forest. and
Yeah,
to
can
that
I go
hamlet,
anywhere, or
or
is there
to
is there a
that-
definable boundary that I can't?
Oh, I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as.
Like a
And
little
so
helicopter.
we all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all wizarding village within Britain. But we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in.
A floating
out
hat
in
for
the
tips.
Scottish Highlands. And so it's those. And so we refer to those as
There's
hamlets, and they're
so
opportunities
much
to
that you
learn
can
those
do with
wizard
this,
stories,
that
how those different locations
it's
have kind of,
clever
like, learned
enough,
to live,
and I'm
what their
hoping
relationships
to
are with
touch on this
characters like
later.
Hogsmeade and
But because
Hogwarts.
it's
And
magic,
so
you
they're
can get
both
away
quest
with it.
opportunities
Like
out
in
here
Red
and a chance to
Dead,
kind of get to know
in
more of the
Call
area,
of Duty,
even
you
beyond
can't
Hogwarts
see,
and Hogsmeade that
you
we've already
shouldn't see a
experienced.
gun
And you
clip
also
through a
notice
wall.
on the mini-map,
But in
like,
this,
lots
you can
of
be like,
little
oh, well, no, it's
icons,
magic
and
because
each one
just
of
the
those
wall
represents
forms around it.
gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate
You
in.
get that little
whether it's a
Disney
vendor
aspect
or
of like,
different
oh, it's a
puzzles,
hat, and then
challenges,
it crunches
different
down. Like
secrets
it shouldn't
that
happen in
exist.
real life, but
each one of those
this
icons
isn't
are
real
different
life. This is
mechanisms for gameplay.
magic.
And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, that you can
Puzzles.
solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to
So
actually
we've got
expand
reflections
and
there.
learn
So does
about
that mean that we're
nature
having
magic.
ray tracing in 60
and as
frames?
you kind of encounter different enemies
This
dotted on the landscape,
looks like it's in
sometimes
30 frames
those
right now,
characters, poachers,
but
and dark wizards, might
will
be
they give
hoarding
us a
different,
40
magical resources that are valuable to you
40
as you're
FPS
playing the game.
variable
So each one
refresh
has
rate,
kind of like a way to connect
like
to our
we
gameplay
see
loops and provide different
in
opportunities
Horizon
that
Zero
just
Dawn
kind
and a
of
bunch of other
reward you for
games.
poking around.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
So what is that? So are you a
We've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're gonna hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the back. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse. I mean, that is a horse.
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift off into the air. And we tried to make sure that each
different
of those
animals in this,
interactions,
yeah,
so the
okay.
broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing just to be riding around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah, it really is kind of like, I don't know, it's a great feeling being on it. And it's a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that
Critters, what are those?
each one of these things that you can interact with have
they can
a
see
unique
you.
identity and a reason for being.
And oh my god, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are like blocked.
Doug
Yeah,
Bog
as soon as there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned. The
Very
swamp.
reminiscent. Now I know this
we
is
have
not
got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments
iconic
out
to this
in the world,
particular
just
game
to kind
and
of
unique or anything like that.
pepper your experience,
just
reward
the
you for exploring,
landscape
keep things fresh. All those things
reminds
exist.
me
in
of,
Hogwarts.
and
Oh,
what you
God,
can
I
do
love
is like
that
you can just keep
windmill.
going
It's
and
like
find
so
different challenges right in
rustic.
the
Like I
middle
keep
of it.
forgetting that this is like
Again, The
1800s.
Witcher, I'm always coming back 'cause I'm
Within a
finding
world
it
we've
right
never
now.
really seen before.
But
Like it feels so authentic. Like
Valhalla. Assassin's Creed
it's
Valhalla.
part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like
Use
covered in
magic.
snow.
In a wizarding game.
Yes, please. I love.
That's all I want.
Wrong wavy.
Cool.
This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is so pretty. Okay, it looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my god, does it have like
This guy,
actual like gameplay
Ben.
impact, like impact on the
pretty sure his name is
gameplay,
Ben.
or does it like it's just the
Um,
weather of Scotland?
his
Yeah, we really use it as
giddiness
a narrative
is
marker
refreshing.
through the game.
It's almost too
so
much at
as you're
times,
progressing through your
but
storyline,
you
it was
can tell
important
he's
for
a
us to
fan.
kind of like have
He's
those
a
moments that
player.
kind of felt
He
like when you're
can't
reading the books or
wait
watching the movies,
for a
where
Hogwarts
you'll
game
see
like
kind of like
this.
the title card Winter, and
He
now
sees
the
all these things
landscape's
like a
changed,
race.
and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at
Right.
Hogwarts. And I think we wanted to duplicate that. And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside,
water.
which
The water.
which
I thought you were gonna
think
skin
is
your foot.
really beautiful. But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts
my
to
God.
holidays.
Walking Willow? No, they didn't.
The
No,
school
because the
reacts
Walking
to
Willow would have been
holidays, and you see the
planted when,
decorations around those environments change. That really
Sirius
helped
and
just
Remus
kind of
were around.
make me feel like I'm there.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not just
Are we gonna get
for the
seasonal
seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly,
is that
like
even
it's
a winter
largely
critter?
about vibe. When you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down. Just when there's
right,
just
yeah.
candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in
So does
that
that mean there's a
day-night
time
cycle
limit
is
in the
where
game?
we've kind of placed a few items where
you only have 30 days
whether
to
or not you can
complete this
collect them, or
before you
whether or
move
not
on
you
to
can
the
interact
next
with them, that are a little bit restricted by the
Or
day-night
will
cycle.
the time just be pushed on
And I
by the
love
story?
Andrew's flying up here really high up on the hippogriff, and we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance.
those
It's just
balloons
absolutely
again.
beautiful.
There must
It's
be
part
a
of
race or
what I
something.
love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or
And it's
or on
seamless.
the broom.
Like it
No,
doesn't seem like
I mean,
there's
you
a
talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my. I still can't get over no matter I play this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, to the
there's no,
library,
like,
to class,
oh,
or
I've
to my
landed,
house,
and
or to
then
my
they have it,
common
like,
room. That it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this
I mean,
time.
I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just oh my god.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go
Ramp it up.
a lot more of a deep dive on
Kill
the
somebody.
Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition. All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is. Which is part of the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually
See,
part of
that's
the world, it's
unfortunate
integrated
that
into the
you-
world, so your
I'm not
experience is more
saying-
immersive
well,
than
it
just
is-
choosing an option
okay.
from the main
It's a
menu
poor
of the game or
strategy.
something like that.
Reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly.
If
There
you
are many
buy
reasons
the
to go to the
Vigor
Forbidden Forest,
Deluxe
but
edition,
he's
maybe
also
you can
wearing
get
the
access to it right
Dark Arts
away, but then
cosmetic
standard
set.
players should have to wait until like level
And
20. I don't know.
here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is
Oh my god.
part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's what I'm going down.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for
enjoying
you
that
and,
the only
allows you
illumination here is the
to
moonlight. There's no,
really
like,
play around with
candlelight, there's
combat in
no
a
torch.
deep
Now
way.
we've got
And is
fire.
this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do-
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves, in order to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark
Oh, it
Arts
is
Battle Arena. That's also true, the
cloak.
combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire, and they can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the Dark Arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down. But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right. Oh, they just about the cadavers right away. Oh my god.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god.
Starting off strong.
Was that Kujio? Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
Yeah, a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen
Like,
that
are
you
you
just have
going to
questions
adjust
about.
your
Like, more like, I
playthrough
see,
to
like,
be like,
little
I'm going to use Dark Arts, or would you just be like, I'm never going to use this? I'm
From
not
the
gonna use it.
enemies. Also, before like that sign, well,
like
it's
a-
like
whoa.
so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called
Yeah.
in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic meter.
Oh, so it is ancient magic.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of history and your own abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you
there's
see
so
the
many things
R1
coming
or
out
the
at the
L1 plus
same
R1 appear
time.
over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell
Oh,
to do a
that-
ton of damage against a character.
I see.
And the way that manifests itself
Ooh.
depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in
Particle
different
effects.
ways.
Again,
You'll
I know
notice
this is just something
there's
simple for graphics.
abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting, that
Loyalist
force him to
assassin.
move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat, you're Cortegoing and doing different abilities, and you can kind of spec into it with your talents. There are different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster. But one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic.
AoE attacks.
We're talking a lot about spells
Like, again,
and magic here, but I think there's
I
another
love this because
component of combat, and that is the
this is going to
tools
bring
that you
more
can
people
bring
into
to
the
combat
RPG
as well, to kind of
genre too. Pillars of
change
Eternity,
the way you play. And I think
Witcher,
Mackenzie
Skyrim.
knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and
Yeah.
potions.
Avowed
And
coming
so
out soon.
the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in
That
Room
is
of
to say, if they're
Requirement
not
to
already
combat
enjoying this
to
genre.
essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against
Okay,
big
so just-
enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, she's just destroying. The troll just
So you can just
collapsed.
kill
But
the
it could-
troll.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the Focus potion. So when Alan
Oh, yeah,
talks
he's
about
tough.
having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a Focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right. Oh my god, there's just so much like
Oh,
versatility,
no, why didn't
like
that-
what the character is doing to the troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. Looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the setup
Whoa.
of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like
It's
the
got
venomous
armor.
tentacula that you
So now
can
we're
put
getting, like,
down, and it
Shadow
acts like
War
a
stuff.
turret,
Wow,
and it just
okay.
kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
Chopping
That
cabbage.
is so
Chopping
cool.
cabbage.
This is like a truly like Hufflepuffy way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it.
AoE.
If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or
Man
block
got,
more.
man got
or-
Yeah,
anvil.
we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges. This
So
is
is
the way
there
that
gonna
the
be like
field
a
guide
big
manifests
end-game
like
boss
challenges
with
we would
this?
do.
Something that made it like
And exactly,
because I
to
just
your
feel
point,
that
we just wanted a way to
Avada
encourage players
Kedavra
to
just seems
explore
like
the
I know
different
they said
systems
that
to
they've
help
got
them
that
decide to just kind of practice with them
cooldown.
and explore what they want to be, because there really
But
are so many different ways that you can push talents.
It does
when you
seem
see
OP.
the green X's
Now I
on
know it's the
characters,
dev
and
build,
that's
so
kind
they're
of
probably
through
gonna
your
really
talents
go
you can
on
unlock
Google.
this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy.
That's what I mean.
And so,
Oh my god.
there are
we
dark
have
arts
to be
fantasies,
evil? That's
there's
what I'm saying,
fantasies
I'm gonna
about being more
avoid
of a
it.
defense against the dark arts characters, things like
That was the whole
that
thing about,
misty step that you see.
oh my God, you
occasionally
turn him into a
being used on
chicken.
the battlefield, and we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep on the fly or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool because like it's like I see so much like going on the screen, just so much
So
complexity.
he's a
and
Slytherin, so
I
does
want to
that mean-
just
I don't
try
know, like,
myself,
are
like
you-
which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts.
So is your house
Is
full
it-
of shoes? Like, how much
You're-
of
that
dark arts
ancient
are there?
magic.
I
to
know
be
this
honest,
is
feels like much more
like
powerful
150
than
years
just the
before
dark
the
arts.
event. So it's
Yeah.
like 18,
And
20
speaking
or
of plants and
something.
potions, we are going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space
Oh, wow, geez,
that
we've
actually
already been
has
20
some
minutes into this.
utility as
Feels
well, where
like
you
it's
get
been
to
like
brew
10.
things and grow things, and also care for some beasts.
So
All right,
this is
Andrew's
very
got us
cool.
in the
Okay.
Room of Requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
God! What?
Cool.
This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
And just instant.
That's
Like,
the thing is
other
not only
part that
can
I
you
love
change
about
the
this.
architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So
That's pretty
there's
advanced
like
magic. These guys are
statues
what?
that you can
He's
do,
a
and ornaments
fourth or
and
fifth
tables
level
and
student
rugs, and just a
for fifth
bunch
year,
of little
sorry?
things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my goodness, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But
So now we're
also,
turning
as you
into
engage in different
Sims.
types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
That's so cool. And you change color?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my God, it's so tiny. It's like for baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing
the
this in
other
the
thing that I
world as
wanna
your
know about
character, but
is-
the way you've blended like that gameplay with
Is Avalanche going to keep
immersive,
supporting us, like
design
releasing
of
little tidbits of
personalizing
Oh
the
content?
my
space.
God, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it
right,
almost like it
'cause everything
apparates.
It is really
moves.
quite beautiful, and that was the thing is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. And we really wanted to nail that
Whimsical.
whimsy in
It's
space.
perfect.
Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can
This
talk
is-
to.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is very impressive.
we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, like in the game, you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to. But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore
cursor.
and as you adventure,
Oh,
as
why
you
is there
defeat
a
enemies,
cursor?
you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have
Traits.
different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard.
Oh, cool.
And so,
It's a huge list.
and not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the Room of Requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the
there's a little
space will
Hedwig there, I didn't
eventually
see
grow
it.
its own rooms, and you're
No,
going
it's
to
not
get
Hedwig.
new recipes, like Mackenzie's talking about. All these different things keep expanding, and as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which
Snowy
magical
owl
properties are on your
scarf?
gear.
Is it a
and
scarf
take
for
any
your
piece of
snowy
gear
owl,
and
or
adjust
do you
its
kill
properties
snowy owls
and
to
tweak
make
what
this?
it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of
So is it a transmog system?
appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in
Right.
this stream. those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And,
So it is a
like you
transmog
just
system.
you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap
Yeah.
that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities
You
that
even get
blend
that
in nicely with where you're
ching,
trying
like
to go
that
with your combat fantasy
immediately
or
heard that from
talents
The
and things
Sims.
like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncat fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivario. Kind of bigger space
it's
on
just
the
like a
inside
Oh!
idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler and a neasel as well. So
Oh my
quite a
God.
variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
So
They're
so
so cute.
Oh my god,
So
they're
it-
together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc. That can then be used in your gear.
10 out of
It's
10.
like so like intuitive because like
If
you
you
know
can
that
pet
makes
the
sense 'cause
dog,
when you touch the animals
10
and
out of
fur,
10.
leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing
can
so
rescue them?
is brushing them
Oh my God.
and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beast. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness. No, this is like I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have this little play
Kneesel.
area, like a
A
personalized
kneesel.
shank, so to say, just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah,
get
no,
like-
totally.
you get like
And
fish.
there's like a decoration aspect, but there's
Critters.
also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor,
Stardew
which
Valley, Harvest Moon.
allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you,
Oh,
where you
that's
can play with your beasts. And you'll see here,
it
yeah. So you
waffle?
can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Kneasel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
10 out of
They're
10.
super cute.
Day one
Oh my
purchase.
god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is
The
that
eyes,
the
the
world
big-
is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my god, this Raphorn is just gigantic.
Big old fur ball just
But
coming out
he
now.
looks like my dog. He looks like my dog right now for sure.
You could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just
So
like
I'm
throw
seeing
in,
aspects
oh,
of-
here's a graphorn in here, like
Just
this
the way that
can
the
be
camera's
named
following and reminds me of
whatever
Jurassic
Andrew's
World
about to
Evolution.
name them. Bruce.
The good name.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional
Oh,
vivariums, correct? To different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
You mine?
Progression is a big part of this
There's a
phase
mine.
as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivarium. So as you can see, this one's quite meadow themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a
Are there
visual
ogres
effect
in the
to,
swamp?
and
Get
more space
out of
for
my
your-
swamp!
Oh, so it's
That was
like
a
those.
terrible
So when we're inside the
Shrek
requirement, there's like on the
impersonation, I
left,
apologize.
there's that moon glow from one entrance, and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with
I'm
the
sorry
beast
for
care that I
yawning,
think
guys.
is great.
It's not because of this,
You know,
I'm
tying
tired,
back
but
to
this is
this
amazing.
same kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of
So can
travel.
you, like,
it's
go
actually
all the
built
way
in
out
and
there?
integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
Yeah, everything
Everything.
connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to
Oh, it's just a standing stone.
unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with in the open world.
Face the water.
It's in those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting.
That's pretty cool.
Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world. Forageables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your
I
interactions
like how
with
this is
beasts
showing
out there.
mechanics, but they're
So,
not
you're
spoiling
bringing
kind
up
of stuff.
Poppy.
It's like this
There are
game
more-
is huge. These
there
are all
more,
the things that you can do.
kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how
This is
beautiful it
incredible.
looks. The open world seems so detailed, and there's so many things to do. And like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you. Bye.
What is it? Oh, I thought that was gonna be it. I don't know what that means! I don't know what that means! Wow. Oh, stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna back on me. So, okay, so what did we see? We saw essentially the area around outside of Hogwarts. We saw a bit of Hogsmeade. We saw Broom Flight. We saw Mount Flight. Didn't really get to see the Mount do a whole lot of walking around, but again, it's a flying Mount. It's a Thestral and it's a Hippogriff. We saw the Dark Arts combat, which again, you heard me mention. There's a couple of questions that's raised by that. Will the game reward you for avoiding Dark Arts? Will you... does it force, like, I don't want to be pigeonholed necessarily into it, like, you've got to do it. I'm not saying I don't want to do it, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I grew up on Harry Potter and I was trying to avoid the darkness at all times with the Death Eaters and Voldemort and all that stuff. And then we saw our Room of Requirement, which, again, it's a common area for yourself outside of your common room, and then outside of your classes and everything like that. There's so much in this. I'm not worried, but it just raises the question of like, how much am I going to be able to do before it just becomes overwhelming? I look at the games that are out there, like the Far Cry games, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. My God, how many hours can you sink into that game before like there's just more stuff to be thrown at you and it almost becomes a chore? In this, I mean, we've got our classes, we've got exploration around with our classmates. I'm assuming there's stuff that's going to be going on with different teachers and different interactable characters. You've got your room of requirement, you've got, there's all this stuff, which means really and truly it's a huge game. And it looks like you're going to be obviously be able to go anywhere you can to Hogwarts unless it's actually forcing you not to go anywhere. But I'm very excited about this game. This is going to be the first real this is the first, I guess, Wizarding World game. Yes, we had all the PS2 and PS3 and all that era of games right up. I believe they did every single Harry Potter game, and we've got the Lego games. Beyond that, I'm not really sure of anything else. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But this is the first foray, I'm assuming, into an open world Wizarding World game. I'm very excited about it. I know Justin is as well. I don't know which house I'm going to pick. I know I've said before, I'm going Gryffindor. But you know what? I honestly might roll a die, see what I get. I can't say enough good things about it. I'm sure there's questions that I'm going to have when the game actually comes out. Is it going to be a day one purchase for me? It's looking like it. It really and truly is. It just looks gorgeous. I can't get over how nice it looks. But anyways, this has been a very long video. We're running into like 45-minute territory. If you stuck around to the end to hear what I thought, I thank you very much for doing that. We always appreciate when people stick around for the entirety of our videos. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are a fan of our content, if you're not a fan of our content, if this is your first time here, or if you're a returning viewer, make sure you hit that like button, hit the share button, and as always, do your best you can to subscribe and comment. We will do our damnedest to try and respond to our comments, positive and negative. Let me know what you think of my really crappy setup in here. This is what I've got until my man cave is built, which will hopefully be in the new year. And yeah, what house are you going to be in Hogwarts Legacy? What console are you going to be purchasing for PC, Xbox, Switch, PS5, or PS4? Just let us know. So as always, to send us out, I'm Peter Parkour of the Theorists, and like we always say around here, keep it real.